Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. Supportive Oracle cards, Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Oh, we got the going again. Okay, that's fun. Let's see what we got for Scorpio. There's like this pause. Did that happen? I think that happened for the other two water signs in some respect, which is interesting. Okay. I feel like all of you started off with a pause. Pisces, Cancer, and you. So, if you know other Pisces or Cancers, they might be connected to the same situation, I'm guessing. Although, if it's the obvious situation, now that I think of it. But you've got the Hanged Man. Can't really do anything at the moment. Like, when this starts off, it's kind of like... I feel like it's like, it doesn't matter what I want to do, I can't do it. I feel like I'm just like... It's almost like, you know... You want to fly home for the weekend, but the airport's closed. Or there's no flights going that way. And you know, you're just stuck. You're just like, I want to do this. I want to fly from New York to California, but there's no plane tickets left. There's just there's no way to do it. And that's how I feel. Like, there's just like, I want to do it. I'm ready to do it. Whatever I need to do, I'll do. But like, anytime I try to go whatever direction, it's like the door is constantly shut, and I can't get around it, and it's very frustrating. Which is very interesting for Scorpio because they usually don't give in. Like, if they really want something, they find a way, and this is just one of those situations where I feel like I'm literally just stuck. I'm stuck. The thing is, this moment actually does some good for you. You got the Moon card here, which I like the Moon card. It's not always like mystery. Sometimes it's like healing in some respects. And you do have the Healing of the Ages card here right with it. I'm getting like this moment where you were stuck and you couldn't do anything. It seemed to serve you. You seem to have a moment to step back and really look at like how things have been going down around you. Who's really been helping you? Who's really been just kind of taking advantage of the situation? Who do I really want to be around? Who do I allow to be around me that maybe I should not? Do I have to put up with this? Do I not have to put up with this? You seem to be like almost like sifting through thoughts. Certain people, you're even sifting through memories. So-and-so, I seem to allow them in my life. But then when I think about everything that's gone wrong, and it just seems to be the same type of situation, and they're always connected to it. Maybe if I omit them from my life for a while, I wonder if that situation still shows up. Kind of like that energy. You're just kind of evaluating things. The Moon card I like because all three water signs tend to have some type of intuitiveness. And when I'm getting that Moon card, you're kind of like preemptively thinking, like, when I'm not stuck here, wherever I am, when I'm not stuck anymore, maybe I'm going to handle things a little differently. Maybe I'm going to try not letting so-and-so in my life, or maybe I'm going to actually pull different people closer to me. This other person, I'm not sure. I think they're kind of boring, but you know what? That might be good. That actually might be good for my life in certain increments, certain amounts, and maybe I could add that person into these other situations and they can stabilize something for me. I don't think they're a bad person, I just think they're boring. Maybe I'll pull them into my life a little more when I can do that. I've known a couple of Scorpios that they know people like that there's people that they like that they think are boring, but they like them. But they won't hang out with them too much because they do think they're boring. And I think boring is subjective, just to be fair. One person's boring isn't another's. Like, you know, some people like to paint and they think that's fun. Other people don't. They like paint, whatever. It depends what you're painting, I know. But you know what I'm saying. Some people like to cook. Other people are like, nope, I don't like to do that. I like to eat it. I don't like to cook it. There's things like that. Home improvement. You can go down a lot of different roads with that. You know what I mean. The Eight of Coins and the Crown Chakra, 7th chakra. Is there communication here? Because there's a very open energy here. Because I think that there is some communication. And the Eight of Pentacles is somebody making a plan. Somebody making a plan and being very inspired to make something happen. Because I feel this is happening with some people I know. Like, they're not making plans so much for this year, but they're making a lot of plans for next year. I know a couple people like that. So, and I'm wondering if that's what this is something like. Kind of like setting things up so that when things are when things can go forward, things are ready to go forward. Depends what you're doing. There's a very good energy here around you, but I'm getting like this isn't your normal energy. This is just not the normal energy you hang out with. Not bad. That's a big thing here. You don't see it as bad, just not your thing. That's all. And I'm getting like this is something around you that's there that you could connect with. You might be actually that component that brings a little bit more life to it. I think you might actually match up with this energy better than you expect. Because there might be a good balance between the two of you. Because I'm not thinking it's like a contrary or like, for example, Scorpio and Taurus, they tend not to get along. They're literally opposites. One's very, we do it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Scorpio's kind of like, listen, as long as it gets done, why does it matter the order? They don't tend to jive well. They both like to be the leader. They both usually have to be the leader. But I'm feeling like this might be a different, for a lot of you, like a different earth sign. I don't know why I'm doing that because I don't like to do that. But especially with it, maybe. Don't go around looking for Virgos and Capricorns. Just realize they may emulate that energy. Because you don't have to see somebody's birthday for them to emulate that energy. Like, somebody can be an Aries or Leo or whatever, and they might have some type of energy where they do emulate Earth. I don't really have much Earth in my chart, but I do seem to be very dependable and on the, I do things the way I'm going to do things, and I'm very strict with that. You can't depend on astrology too much, but you can look at it for, like, your little, like, it's good, but, like, don't expect everything to match up perfectly. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't go around, like, looking for Virgos and Capricorns thinking, is that it? Is this it? Like, they could be completely something different, but they emulate that type of energy. That's all I'm saying. Going forward, as this keeps going forward, you're connecting with this energy that I feel like you might view as boring. I can't get over it. I just can't let it go. You got the King of Pentacles coming in with the Devil card, which is kind of like you're seeing the benefit and you're seeing the drawback. You're just not sure if you want to do it. When I'm getting the Devil card here, it's kind of like you're looking at the situation, like if I get in this situation with this person, I'm kind of committing to this for a little while because that's the type of person they are. Are they going to drive me crazy? Are they going to drive me mad? Like, what's going to happen if I do this and then I can't get away from it because I committed to this? Because Scorpio does hold true to their obligations or their commitments. When you commit to something, and you're like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be there. The Scorpios I've seen, they always show up. They wanting to maybe another thing, but I've never seen one that I've noticed, and maybe I don't know them well enough, just to be fair. But this just seems like they will hold up to their end of the bargain. They say they're going to do something, and they do it. And you're like, if I'm going to commit to this, do I really want to do that to myself? I do feel that with Scorpio. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. I just feel like that's there. That may be my interpretation, because I have been told that I kind of idolize Scorpio energy. I don't know. I like that energy. It's very dynamic. It's usually fun. I know y'all have a dark side. I'm not a fool to that. But I don't know. I usually take it with a grain of salt. Like, you take the good with the bad. All signs have good and bad attributes, The Queen of Wands is coming in the environment with the Four of Swords. That's really... Okay, let's see where that's going. Those are like contradictive cards, but okay. They're waiting for you to approach them. That's the Four of Swords. And they're all ready for it. They might be somehow feeling that you're going to do this. And they want to do this with you. They look at you, whoever this is, they look at you like you are like the spice of life. This also might, let me throw myself under the bus on this one, because I said Virgo and I said Capricorn, and it's that type of energy. But sometimes Scorpios think Pisces are boring, and I'm a Pisces. Because we tend to be very quiet until you get to know us. A lot of us tend to be quiet. And then when you get to know us, then we're a lot more fun. And I'm feeling like this person is looking at you, and I'm wondering if it could be like that type of energy too, where they're kind of dormant until something ignites them, and then they're a lot more fun. They like to support rather than lead usually. Not always. So I'm getting like this energy is waiting for you to approach them. And when you do, though, they're all ready for it. They're all ready for it with the Queen of Wands energy. Don't get caught up in the gender, but they're like, they have all sorts of ideas about hanging out with you and doing things with you. They're like, they think you're awesome. Again, with the Pisces. Moving on. I'm like, yeah, I'm a Pisces, and I tend to do that. I don't know. Maybe maybe it's just Pisces seem to match. Well, Pisces do match with Scorpio very well. So there you go. Maybe that's it. Nope, it's not a Capricorn. That is a cornucopia. The cornucopia with the thinking man. There's a lot of good here. There's a There's a way you got to work it out. You got to set some boundaries and some rules in the sense of like who's going to be accountable for what, who's going to take care of this, who's going to take care of that. If you set the rules in the beginning, whatever that means, because I don't know, like rules in the sense of like I'll handle this, you handle that. When I get here, you need to have all this ready for me, or when I get there, I'll have all this ready for you, and I expect you to start when you get here. You know what I mean? I don't expect to just, fiddle around. Let's use that. So if you just set the expectations, it may not be so much rules as expectations. Maybe that's a better word to use. Set the expectations right in the beginning. This other side will adhere to those. They're like, okay, that's what the Scorpio wants. That's how we're going to do it then. And they will adhere to that. The thinking man makes me feel like talking something out to like, there's a lot of good here, but just put your expectations right out there. I don't know if you want to refer to them as rules. That seems weird when I say that. But expectations, putting out your expectations, that works very well. I'm getting when you come together with this energy, it goes very well. Happy family, man holding a heart, don't get caught up in the gender, but I'm getting like this person wants to please you. They want to make you happy. They got the Magician card here. It says Magician in the mirror, but I'm getting like they're seeing what they're made of. They're seeing what they're made of, and they're bending over backwards to make things work. Don't worry about this because they're going to learn a lot about themselves. They're going to learn a lot about what they're actually capable of doing and how fun they actually can be. They're going to be like, challenging their own boundaries. Don't worry about this because I do feel like they're going like overboard kind of trying to please you. Don't worry about it because it's helping them come out of their shell a little more. I just let it be. You don't have to ignore, you don't have to deal with it. Just you're going to see it. There's no way you're not going to see it. But just kind of keep going and don't worry about it. Good things are coming here with this situation. Now you do have this. And constraints is usually the word I center on. Finances could be a component, but I'm getting kind of like you don't really know if you really want to connect with this person still. It seems to be like a slow win. What do we mean by the slow win? They are bending over backwards, but it's like, I almost feel like that's kind of like, I don't know if I like that. It's kind of like, yeah, they're bending over backwards to make me happy and to impress me, but for some reason you're kind of like, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I'm really, I feel like when I'm seeing constraints, like it says financial, but I'm feeling constraints, like you're holding yourself. Now you're holding yourself back. Kind of like, let me see what they can do. Let me see if this can really work out. You seem to be very conservative about how you're handling this at first. Kind of like, I don't know how deep I want to get into this. I'll do my part because you will do your part. I have no question about that. But it's kind of like, let me see how this goes. Let me see what they do. It takes a minute for them to move forward. And they're moving forward very well before they realize that you're kind of holding back. They do seem to notice it. This is something you need to be aware of. Because I feel like you're just evaluating, trying to see what they can do, trying to see what they're made of. They might misinterpret this. So be aware of this. Because I feel like they have the Five of Cups. I don't think there's going to be a conversation about this. But I feel like when they see you holding back, they're thinking they've done something that didn't work. They're thinking they might have done something wrong. Be aware of that. Because that's the energy I'm really getting. They might think that like, oh, I didn't do that the way the Scorpio wanted it. Did I cross a line? Did I not cross a line? Was I supposed to cross a line? Was I supposed to do this? Was I not supposed to do that? They might get caught up in their head about it. Be aware of it. because they might need a little bit of like ego boost there. Not, you don't have to do anything ridiculous, but just some like, you know, accolades, like they literally did something the way you wanted it done, and just saying, hey, that was cool, you did that the way I wanted it done, good job. And just kind of, you don't have to make a, you know, a circus about it or a parade about it, but you know, acknowledging a couple extra things that maybe you weren't originally going to, that might go a long way. This person also, I'm getting a very strong loyalty feel here. So if there's one thing I know most of us love, and I'm sure, like, you're a water sign, I'm a water sign, like loyalty is something. Like that's, when you know somebody's loyal to how you feel and they're going to think about how this affects you, this is that energy. So this is something to cultivate a little farther, let it grow a little farther. There's going to be a lot of loyalty coming from this person. You're going to like this person the longer you get to know them, the more you see how they can be a little bit more fun, the more you get used to them. I feel like you're going to I feel like you're really going to start to like this person. I feel like a lot of you, for some reason, I need to say, you don't have any emotional connection to this person prior to this moment. And that might be a little jarring to you. In the sense of like, there's no, like this person might be new to like you've never dealt with this person in another life even. Like they're totally new. I don't know, for some of you, I think that's going to make sense. Like you really don't know this person at all. Like you haven't had other lives with them. You really have very limited interaction on the other side. And for those of you that makes sense with it, if it doesn't, just move on from it. Don't worry about it. This is a new person to you, and they feel like that's another reason you're like, I don't know. Like I don't have any connection with them. Like I think that's jarring for Scorpio, especially when you just don't have, you're like, there's no connection. It's not a bad connection. It's not a good connection. It's not even a neutral connection. There's just no connection. You're just like, I don't even know what to make of this. That might be the difference for some of you, and you might be building that connection with this person. Justice with the goddess of the moon. This is good. It just starts off like very on paper. Like there's no connection. You're building that connection. I'm getting you're building that connection. I don't know how that sounds. I usually don't pull that stuff in because I feel like a lot of people get uncomfortable with it, but that's what's coming through, so I'm letting it come through. Anything else? It does, I don't know if I showed this. Your outcome is the Knight of Cups. Very good outcome, very good connection. This is somebody that you're going to be thankful is in your life. This is a good person. It's just getting to know them and being like, but I didn't have, like, just not having that connection to start with, it's just jarring and makes you question it. And I feel like that's what we're looking at. But it's really good. It's the Knight of Cups. It is a really good connection. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.